Maxi,
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
hi.
Welcome. Hello, Miriam.
Hello, Diane. How are you?
Pretty okay. How are you?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say,
You're a little under the weather. Miriam's a little under the weather, and our live stream might only go for an hour today.
yes, I am feverish.
Yeah. She's running a little fever.
Yes. Well, that's okay. Happen. The best family.
And hello, um, Miriam's mother. That's Ophelia. And hello, Pat. Hi, Pat
Hola,
Land.
Hola, Maxi. Hi, Kat. How are you? Oh, okay. So, what are we doing today, Diane?
We are we're still talking about Disability Awareness Month and World Watercolor Month. And I'm going to do some digital watercolor along with my other digital brushes using adult coloring pages. And but Miriam's going to do real watercolor and has some things to share with us more for Disabilities Awareness Month, which we
Oh,
talked a
yeah.
lot about last week.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, oh, sorry. I need to grab this. In a minute, I am with you. Hola, tío. Estoy en
Okay.
medio.
And hi, Wisconsin Greg. Nice to see you.
Ah, qué bueno. Bueno, te llamo cuando termine, en una horita. ¿Está bien? Besitos. Sorry, it's my uncle that it wasn't so good, so I needed to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what I wanted to do first of all, the first recorded reference to a mental disability is from 1552 before Christ. During this time, people with disabilities were seen as inferior. This is especially true in Greek and Roman culture, which was obsessed with mental and physical perfection. Children with disabilities were publicly persecuted. I remember when I was little reading a book. I don't know if it was an history book or was a reference about something real, but in some cultures very far away, they even put children when were born with a disability, like problems in the whatever. They used to put them on like base, and they buried them alive.
Oh no.
Yes, because that was something that it wasn't acceptable.
And when was this?
Oh, that was in Sumer or Arcadia. I don't know. It was
And
very,
BC?
very
You said that was BC?
busy. Here, well, they talk about Greek and Roman, but I know that about other countries, like they were polytheists, they were people that they had different parameters in life, you know. But the thing is that I remember that. I remember, but don't think that that was something from another era. Because now people could have a very early diagnosis when the babies are fetus. And there are people that they decide they don't want to have a baby with disabilities, and they asked the doctors to terminate the pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
And that is something very controversial, but in a sense, it's something that we all know. So, knowing that, it's not only a thing of the past. Mental disabilities, for instance, I know about the people on the Arctic, like people that they had a child with disabilities and was so bad for them, for the reputation of the family, that they didn't show them. They didn't acknowledge they existed. And they were all their life in the attic. So it's very difficult. Just I think that it was a movement not so far away that started to consider people with disabilities as part of the society, and then they started to talk about
And
integration.
when was that?
I cannot precise time.
Mhm.
I cannot
Mhm.
exactly precise. I remember that, but not so far. Let's say,
Maybe in the
well,
1920s, 30s.
maybe 1930. Yes, yes, about that. So it's not a so engineered story, and also that uh, now on days there are stigmas about that.
Yeah,
Even if you have invisible disability, it's
yeah.
something that somehow it will show. Oh,
Hmm.
Mama Juju is here. Hi, Mommy. How are you? Welcome. We are talking about disabilities and doing some. Uh, I am doing my ephemera for next postcards, and I am doing them with
Watercolor.
watercolor. Yes, sorry, I'm not feeling well today, so my timing is really, really, really. How did society view people with a disability in our story? The history of treatment and attitude toward people with disabilities has often been marked by societal fear, intolerance, ambivalence, prejudice, and ignorance regarding disability. And this is an extract from the book The History of Treatment Toward People with Disabilities that I don't have the author, but it's Springer Publishing. Let's see if I can. No, it's psychosocial aspect of disability, second edition, inside the perspectives and strategies for counselors. But it doesn't say the author. Maybe there are more than one. The history of the treatment. For those born in the last half of the 20th century, it might appear as though people with disabilities have always been treated with kindness and a helping hand. Historically, this indeed was sometimes the case in certain parts of various countries by certain entities, such as the church as other non-profit organizations. Some cultures even revered people with disabilities and held them in high esteem. That is a reference from Gallagher, 1995. For example, stating that among Dahomeyans, Dahomeyans is Dahomey,
Spell it again.
D
B
E
as in boy.
D as in Diane,
Okay, D.
A
Uh-huh.
H
Uh-huh.
O
Yeah.
M as Miriam.
I don't know. That must be somebody's name.
No, no, there are a village, people in West Africa.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I mean. It's a name.
Dans, Dahomeyans, well,
Okay.
something like that, of West Africa. Infants born with disability were believed to be the result of supernatural forces and said to be good luck in some instances. Indeed, adults with deformities were often selected as state constables. This is a reverse thing because not all people with disabilities are capable to do things like that. So, never mind. Oh, children with disability. In addition, among the Chaga of East Africa, children with disabilities were believed to satisfy evil spirits, which in turn safeguarded others from misfortune. And this is a quote about from Overman in 1965. Unfortunately, these views were but isolated incidences. The history of treatment and attitude toward people with disabilities has often been marked by societal prejudice, fears, intolerance, ambivalence, prejudice, and ignorance regarding disability. Taken in total, throughout the ages, people with disability have been subject to infanticide, what I told,
Yes.
burned, shunned, and isolated, strangled, submerged in hot water, beaten, chained, uncaged, tortured, gassed, shot, sterilized, warehoused and sedated, hanged, and used as amusement. And it's a lot of people that are reference of that. Surprisingly, many of these practices continued up until the end of World War II. And although this inhumane treatment was drastically curtailed in the last half of the 20th century, atrocities toward people with disabilities continue in various parts of the world today. And that's a quote of Ghosting, 2008. Indicate that despite the 1991, hi Anina, how are you?
Hi, Nina.
That's okay. You can be present, you cannot be present. I'm not present at all because I have a fever, so it's okay. So in 1991, United Nations adoption, despite the 1991 United Nations adoption of principles for the protection of persons with mental illness, that was from the World Health Organization from 2005, as well as the 2006 United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. People with mental illness throughout the world are still treated humanely and are living under deplorable conditions, including in prison, on the street, and in asylum type settings. Well, not everywhere. I just came back from my um, bi-monthly class of art that I I'm the teacher, and it's in a place where people with what it's typed as mental disabilities go, and they have all the services they need. They have activities. Mine is one of that. Oh, mom says hello, Diane,
Hi, Ophelia.
and yes, you see a lot of people that they have problems that are pertinent to their problems. Like they
And those
cannot,
and those the mental disabilities can be invisible.
yes, can be. So then the people does something that it's not normal and you don't accept that, but you don't know the state of the people. It's like a person in a wheelchair. I urge them to walk straight, people. Why are you in a chair? Or something like that. So, in order that, because we are talking about the disability.
Oh,
uh,
Patricia's here. Patricia Carmichael.
Hi, Patricia. How are you, my dear?
She says she's going to be watching while she's eating lunch. Hi,
Oh,
hi, Alec.
okay. Have a great lunch, and hi, Alex, too. I'm glad you are here. We are talking about disabilities, and we are doing a watercolor. Diane is doing digital. I am doing real one.
Yeah, she's doing real watercolor.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little digital watercolor along with other digital kind of art. Just something easy today.
Yes.
Coloring adult coloring pages.
Because I am doing the ephemera for my focal points for my postcards. So I decided to do it real. I can do digital and then
Well, you
print.
gave us a lot of history about disabilities,
Yes,
disability, disability awareness.
yes. And I know that even today in India, people with disabilities are in the streets, are homeless, and they are
Mm.
homeless from like when they are kids. It's not that for the family. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
Uh, so one thing that we can talk about because it's awareness is that we need to develop a better attitude to all of this. So
Yeah,
today,
a better attitude
yes,
towards it. Yes, towards disabilities.
yes, in general, because
Yeah.
for instance, I came back today from my class, and fortunately, I wasn't in my wheelchair. I was with my walker because I don't know what happened here near that suddenly every part that you can put a car and every part that you cannot put a car, like in the place that people need to go down to cross the street, the the people with disabilities, they were cars, so and without attendance. So then I arrived home, and in front of the place let's say the place I need to go to enter my house. It's like a walking path, and one put the the car like that. Like if this was the walking path, right in the middle, I needed to go with my walker on a part that have stones and everything. It's not prepared for rolling
Oh, yes.
to go around. And really, what are you going to do in that case? Anything. I can call the police. I done that. I did that in the past in another place. You can call the police. You can tell them what happened. You can tell them the number of the car, the registration, and then they search in their database and they call the owner of the car that could be anywhere doing anything, and they tell them take the car from there. And all that takes so much time. And I was, well, I now know I was with fever, but I didn't know. What I know was that I didn't feel well. I only wanted to come home. I didn't want to do that. But yeah, people don't pay attention, don't think, and don't consider that are other people with other necessities. And for instance, in Israel, if you don't know Hebrew, not all people know English. Certainly, they don't know Spanish. But if I go to Europe and I ask anyone in English something, even if it's in Spain, they are going to give me a hand. Here, if you don't talk what they talk, they say no, and that's it. So there are too many things that make people different one from each other. Let's
Okay. So I could add something. I've looked up the origins of Disability Awareness Month that happens in July, and
Mhm.
commemorated the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, that took place on July 26, 1990.
Mhm.
ADA promotes equal rights and accessibility for people with disabilities. So, why is July a Disability Awareness Month? Well, because on July 26, 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed the Americans with Disabilities Act into law. Each July is celebrated as Disability Pride Month in commemoration of the historic moment.
I see. Interesting. So, where do disabilities came from? Oh, Belinda is here. Hi, Belinda. How
Hi,
are you?
Belinda.
So, disability results from the interaction between individuals with a health condition such as cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, and depression, with personal and environmental factors include negative attitude, inaccessibility, transportation and public buildings, and limited social support. So that's important. So we don't have a disability unless you compare us with other people that don't us in consideration, because we're people as
Yeah.
everyone.
So what were you saying? They were saying that it's not a disability unless you compare it to the others?
Something like that, I said. Disability results from the interaction between individuals with a health condition, such as cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, depression, with personal and environmental factors, including negative attitude. Ah, so, inaccessible transportation. I am disabled because the world is made for people that are not like me. So I need help, I need special access. If not, if the world were done for everyone, I'll be only a person as everyone is.
Right.
So here I have the first one I did. I need to outline it, but when it's dry, and it is the sign for love, the in sign language. So I'm going to do here a rainbow because a minute I need to see the. Okay, let's put another. I need to see the colors of the rainbow.
Yes, other times of the year they have Disability Employment Awareness Month. That's in October. Oh, because October is not a blindness awareness month.
Mm.
And then there's another month in March is a different month that has to do with something else about disabilities. Sorry,
Anina says
I don't have it in
today.
front of me so I can read it.
Anina says today I was confronted with someone who did stutter. I was happy to see that this young woman just keeps on talking and not seem stressed about. Yeah, that's perfect. Diana, is that a blue moon?
Oh, maybe it could be. That's kind of blue violet. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be. It's just it has flower petals around it, so it's kind of like it's some kind of fantasy flower.
Oh, well, I am working now in my rainbow. That will be in one of my postcards. What are you eating, Patricia?
Hi, Anthony.
Anthony, hi. Second color, orange. I will have
Well,
sugar for
we could ask the chat some questions, maybe about.
Yes, of course. What do you have in mind?
Well, I guess I'm wondering if there's does anybody in the chat, in both of our chats, is anybody dealing with disabilities, like with themselves or with family members?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
For those people that don't know, I'm legally blind. Not my whole life. I was unknowingly born with an extremely rare retinal disease that both my parents had to have recessive genes for me to get it. And the more common kind is that it presents itself in childhood, and mine did not. Fortunately, I had completely normal vision my whole life until my early 40s. And then that's when it presented itself. So I was able to have a life with normal vision until the extremely rare retinal disease presented itself, which I was born with unknowingly,
Uh,
called cone dystrophy,
mm,
which impacts my central vision. And
that must be
it turns your
nothing.
life upside down when you have to stop driving, because I drove for 15 years. So it does turn your life upside down when you have to deal with things like that.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't born with a disability, but for instance, my uncle had problems, and he needed to stop uh, driving because he could faint because of the
Oh, because
problems.
of heart issues?
Yes,
Could
so
faint. Oh, he could faint.
he could faint in the middle of the travel. So it's very dangerous. And we also have an adaptation to do in many things. Couldn't work, couldn't, and he had diabetes and many problems from that. But all of them in the last years. My father
Oh,
was colorblind all his life, and in the last years he was legally blind.
oh, for colorblind. Well, did that person still drive? I mean, with their color when they only had color blindness?
Yes, with color blindness, my dad knew where is the light situated on the like
Yes,
when it's
uh, like they wouldn't be able to see traffic lights, or I'm wondering if they couldn't
that
see.
the traffic lights he could recognize for the position.
Yes. Or how about people's tail lights?
People taillights he could see, but
Okay.
there are a lot of types of color blindness.
Yes, you're right.
So he could do a normal life. Only he surprised my mom with orange, but orange furniture for the kitchen once because he couldn't appreciate the color. It's the color that he saw.
Oh.
It wasn't a pleasant color for the kitchen. But anyway, he was an artist and he drew till the last time. And yeah, it's very difficult to have a mental disability. Nothing here says Belinda. So a mental disability, it's really very tough on the people, very tough, because if you don't have a support machinery for them, a place to go, people that came to your house and help them here, people with disabilities, they try, even if it's a quadriplegic that needs people around him 24/7, they have subsidized from the government. Persons around the clock that they come uh, like caregivers because like that they can live a life separate from the parents, like be autonomous. Because sometimes you are quadriplegic, but you have your mind is working perfectly well, and you can study and you can even do work or whatever. So here is very good with people with disability, but it's not like that in all parts of the world.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you said they didn't support it as well in Argentina.
In Argentina, no, we have some support for cases, very bad cases, and the support they have, it's not enough. So yes,
Mhm.
but here, fortunately, it's okay. It's
A
something
shout out to it's me, Alec channel. He's a new channel member, and his channel is listed down below in the description box.
perfect. I am waiting sometime, I think maybe in a month or so, I am positive. I will reach 500.
Oh, good.
Very
Congratulations.
good. Thank you. And then we'll see. But this will be an angel because I did not did an angel yet on my. So let's see. I'm going to let's grab some lilac and some red and do some pink. Oh yeah, I love this color for the wings. This color will be for the wings. And for the other wing, I am going to see something else about disabilities in a minute. Do you know something about watercolors? Like we have history or something?
The history of what?
Watercolors.
Oh, no, I don't. I could look it up though. I have to.
Okay, look. Do
Okay.
you need to
I
look it up?
okay. Yeah, I can, but I have to
We
turn
can
my
make
camera. I have to turn my camera off so I can do that
uh,
search on my iPad.
Diane, Anina have a message for you. Diane,
Oh,
send you a
yes.
message about someone in Instagram who is also legally blind and invited her here, but not sure if she comes. Oh, it's okay.
She's on Insta. A blind artist on Instagram. You said.
Yes,
And what else? What else about that?
invite her to be here, but she doesn't know if she's going to
Oh,
come.
invited her to be here. Oh, okay.
You know, angels were not something that I had in like growing up. I didn't know about angels. We didn't talk about them. So
Okay,
now,
I have something about the history of watercolor painting.
okay,
Watercolor art dates back to the cave paintings of
wow,
Paleolithic Europe and has been used for manuscript illustrations since at least Egyptian times, with particular prominence in the European Middle Ages. However, its continuous history as an art medium begins with the Renaissance.
Interesting. Even my dogs are excited by
Even
this.
they're excited.
Okay, we heard.
So
We know.
here's a question that says, what is the theory of watercolor painting? Well, in watercolor painting, you control the water to pigment ratio to create the relative lightness and darkness of your paint. For example, a lot of water mixed with very little paint will create a very light color, and a little bit of water mixed with a good bit of paint will create a darker color. Well, yeah, that's the basic premise.
Yeah. It says that that's it, what differentiates the watercolor.
Then we have, what is the science behind watercolor?
Oh, wait a minute, because
Okay.
I really. Maxi, can you help with the dog, please? Max, he's not hearing them or me. Thank you, Max.
Ivan.
Well, you can continue now.
Okay, what is the science behind watercolors? Watercolor paint is composed of pigment particles suspended in a solution of water, binder, and surfactant. Watercolor paper is made from linen or cotton rags that have been pounced into small fibers instead of the standard wood pulp. The paper is composed of a microscopic web that is extremely absorbent to water.
Mm. So the manuscripts were watercolors. Wow. Wow.
And then, why is it hard to master watercolors? Watercolor is hard due to its unpredictable nature. Watery pigment flows wherever it wants, which makes it difficult to control. And since watercolor is translucent and appears lighter once the pigment has dried, it's hard to fix mistakes because they show through the layers. That's the thing. Yeah, you can't make something lighter. In watercolor, you can never make something lighter. You can always make it darker, but you can't make it lighter
Yeah. Well,
if after
you
you've put it,
can.
you've done it.
If you grab a napkin or something like that. I did fix a mistake recently with a rag. You can put on the surface where the paint enter on the other one on where the paint is dark, and you can do it lighter. See, I am going to show you. Let's say that I made a mistake and I did it too dark. If I
Right.
if I do this before it's, so I take out pigment, so now it's light
Wait, how did you make it light?
with a rag.
Oh, but that's only soon after you've painted it, right?
No, not necessarily,
Oh.
because the watercolor you can reactivate it with water. I did now, and
Oh,
I will.
really? Wait, I'm not sure about that. Really? You can reactivate it?
I think so, and I am going to try now.
I've never known that. Wow, I don't know about. I'm not sure about that.
Well, I'm not sure either, but let's see. I am reactivating this one, and I'm putting my rag again, and see how I left the
I think you
pigment.
can only do it like soon after you've just painted. After it's been
No,
sitting for a while, I don't think you could do it.
I did it after, and I have pigment in my rag.
Oh, uh-huh.
So I don't think you can revert completely, but let's see. Let's put more water on this, and let's put a rag on it. There, you see,
Uh,
almost disappeared.
it all. Wow. Okay.
So it can be reactivated.
And maybe that depends on what paper you're painting on too.
Yeah, but you need the rag. If you put the water, doesn't mean that disappear. You need the water reactivated and you need the rag. That's why if you made a mistake and you see it immediately, like the I painted the face and I didn't realize and I paint the hair. So when I arrived to the place where the hair and the face meet, it was spillage. But immediately I took the rag and I took out this color. So it's okay now. Or something like that.
I've painted a lot in watercolor. Well, I've taken a couple class. It might be one or two, maybe, yeah, one or two classes in watercolor, and I don't think I've ever. Maybe I forgot that I learned that. I don't know that I ever knew that.
You know me, I like to experiment. And sometimes it's experience, it's what you do, and then what you did brings you to questions, and the questions end in learning. If you are brave, like me, and you do things weird, like me, and adventurous, I am adventurous. So now I am outlining. Let's see. Oh, Anina says watercolor is beautiful. Prefer acrylic, it's more intense. Yes, it's more plasticky too.
Does Anina like to paint with watercolor? Anina, do you like to paint with watercolor?
Oh, that said it's beautiful, but she prefer acrylic.
Yeah.
I think that it's a
Same here. I
possibility.
guess it's probably the same here. I do like watercolor that it doesn't take up a lot of space. You just paper and the amount of paint you use comes in those small little amounts, and as opposed to acrylic paint tubes take up a lot more space. Painting with acrylic takes up more space,
Yeah,
but I prefer acrylic.
I like watercolor, but
So which one do you prefer?
I don't know. It's like me. It's like telling me if I prefer one son to another. I've been doing this for so long, and I've been doing so many things in my life that in general, I don't repeat something that I don't like. So what I am doing, if you see me doing that more than once, it's because I love it. For instance, I did in my life real life drawings, and
You did in your life what?
real life, like hyper realism, but I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
So you are not going to see me a lot doing that. I think that the key of drawing of artists, it's the interpretation. It's your interpretation. So if I am going to do something that it's like a picture, I don't think that it's too putting myself on that. But it's my point of view.
Yeah. So do you feel like something that's hyper realistic is more is less like a point of view?
Yes, it's less myself on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's what I feel. It's not a science, it's a feeling. But I enjoy even now to find out new things about me, about my art. So I don't mind to try things. And I don't mind either. Thank you, Maxi. I don't mind either
I'm at
to change my perspective of things. Maybe from here to in 2 years, in a year, you are going to see me doing hyperrealism. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. Just depends on what you feel like doing, right?
Yeah. Belinda says, same here, Anina. I prefer acrylic, but I have added water to some acrylic paints to achieve a watercolor effect. Yes, I am doing that in one of my paintings right now. It's called Wash. And yes, you do a lot of layers instead of only one, and you put or water or even a retarder or any thinner to your paint, and then you paint one and two and three, and you can change the colors, and it's beautiful. So why watercolor? Hmm, interesting to know.
What was that?
Why watercolor?
Why?
Yeah,
Well, one thing it takes up less storage space.
perfect.
It's very portable. It's very portable. You can just take it very easily. Like all your paints can be in one little box, one medium-sized box, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's easy portable for taking it for travel.
Yeah.
Well, I think it doesn't require layers. Like a lot in acrylic, well, you don't have to do layers in acrylic, but I think it requires fewer layers possibly in watercolor. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know because maybe it's more layers. I don't know.
Mm.
I am trying to define the care of the pendulum. Very true, Diane. Easier to travel with, says Belinda. And Anina
Yeah.
says, that's a good idea. Oh, I almost there with the three drawings.
Well, you have a little fever for the past few days, and you were not feeling well, and it's been an hour. Did you
Yeah,
want
I
to
know. I know. I think we today we are going to tell
today?
bye
Yeah.
early.
Today we're going to stop early because Miriam's been feverish for the past few days.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm running a fever right now. So I really thank you for being here. It was really important for me to not. I used to, when I still had money to travel with aquarelle pens and was making small paintings with what I saw. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, now you have the water brush and it's perfect. I have water brush here. I don't know why I'm not using it.
So thank you everybody for being here today. Yeah, we're stopping early because Miriam's a little she's under the weather with fever.
Thank you, Diane, for
Mm.
that. Bye, Mama Ju. Bye, Belinda. Bye, Anina. Bye, Mommy. Bye, bye. And
Okay.
everyone that is lurking. Bye.
Yes, and to our replay viewers, we love our replay viewers just as much as our live viewers. So thank you all
Don't
for being here,
forget
replay
to
viewers and live viewers.
stop before you go. Bye, Patricia. Bye, everyone in Diane chat. I'm
Yes.
sorry if I wasn't more coherent today.
Uh, Bye, everybody.
Bye.